All right, we need to talk. The Harry Potter reboot on HBO Max is already setting the internet on fire, and they haven't even started filming yet. If you thought the biggest controversy would be whether they could top the original movies, oh no, think again. The first major casting announcement has dropped, and let's just say it's messy. Let's get into it. The Paapa Essiedu as Snape controversy. The controversy. Paapa Essiedu has officially been cast as Severus Snape. And if you haven't heard that name before, don't worry, you're about to. Because this news has basically split the entire Potter fandom into warring factions. On one side, you've got people hyped about the choice. Essiedu is a serious actor. He's been in I May Destroy You, Gangs of London, The Lazarus Project. The dude's got range. And honestly, if there's one thing you need to play Snape, it's range. This is one of the most complicated, layered, morally ambiguous characters in the whole series. He's got to be menacing, vulnerable, tragic, sarcastic, all at the same time. But on the other side, oh boy, we've got people foaming at the mouth over this. Some of them are mad for the dumbest reason possible. They think he's too attractive. Yeah, really. People are out here saying Snape is supposed to be this greasy, sallow, unpleasant-looking dude, and Essiedu is, well, kind of a handsome guy. Like, sorry for casting someone with good bone structure, I guess? What do they want HBO to do? Put him in prosthetics and bad teeth? But let's be real. That's not the main reason for the controversy. The elephant in the room is that Essiedu is black, and people are losing their minds. Look, Snape in the books is described as pale-skinned, with greasy black hair, a hooked nose, and a permanently sour expression. And we all know that when Alan Rickman played him in the movies, he defined that role. But here's the thing. Alan Rickman didn't look exactly like Book Snape either. His nose wasn't as exaggerated, his teeth weren't yellow and uneven, and guess what? Nobody cared, because Rickman absolutely owned that role. The difference now? Some fans just don't like race changes in established characters, and they're not being quiet about it. And, okay, there is an argument that Snape's backstory hits a little differently with this casting. Snape is bullied by James Potter when they're students at Hogwarts, and, well, now you have a black kid getting harassed by a privileged white kid in the 1970s. The racial optics of that are not subtle. Does it completely change the power dynamic? Maybe. Does it make Snape's story even more tragic? Possibly. Does it break the immersion? Honestly, I don't think so. But some fans do. Then, of course, we have the other side of the discourse. Some people are saying that this isn't even about diversity. It's about HBO trying to smooth over the whole J.K. Rowling is controversial thing. Like, let's be real. A lot of Harry Potter fans have complicated feelings about Rowling these days. She's made a lot of statements about trans issues that have driven a chunk of the fandom away from the franchise entirely. And now, you've got HBO making diverse casting choices, and some people are like, oh, this is just damage control. They're trying to make progressive fans happy without actually addressing the bigger issues. So in one corner, we have fans saying, this is forced diversity, I don't like it. And in the other corner, we have fans saying, this is fake diversity, I don't trust it. And meanwhile, poor Paapa Essiedu is just out here, probably thinking, I just signed up to play a wizard, man. Now, let's talk about the fallout, because the backlash has been brutal. Essiedu had to set his Instagram to private immediately after the announcement because of the sheer amount of hate comments flooding in. Racist messages, people saying they're boycotting the series, people posting memes about how HBO is ruining the franchise. It's been relentless, and honestly, it's exhausting. Because we've seen this before. Halle Bailey got the same treatment when she was cast as Ariel in The Little Mermaid. John Boyega went through this with Star Wars. Even freaking Rachel Zegler, who played Snow White, had people saying she was too dark to play a character whose defining trait is literally in her name. And now, it's happening again. Every time a black actor is cast in a role that was previously played by a white person, the internet erupts. And the arguments are always the same. It's about accuracy. It's not racist, it's just about being true to the source material. But somehow, these same people didn't seem to mind when Tom Hardy played Bane in The Dark Knight Rises, even though Bane is supposed to be Latino. They didn't complain when The Witcher changed entire character backgrounds. But suddenly, this is the deal breaker? And let's be real. Snape's race is not actually a core part of his character. His personality, his tragic love story, his bitterness, his redemption arc. That's what defines him. Not the color of his skin. So if an insanely talented actor like Essiedu can bring all of that to life, why does it matter what he looks like? Now, some people do get that. There's a whole wave of fans out here defending the casting, saying, guys, can we just wait and see how he acts first? And honestly, that's where I'm at with this. Like, we've seen actors surprise us before. Remember when everyone lost their minds over Heath Ledger being cast as the Joker? Or when people said Daniel Craig was too blonde to play James Bond? And then they crushed those roles. This could be one of those moments. And let's be honest, Snape is one of the best written characters in the whole series. If HBO gets this show right, Essiedu could end up delivering a performance so good that people just shut up and accept it. I mean, people hated Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man when those movies first came out, and now everyone acts like he was the best one. Fandoms are fickle. But the thing is, this is just one casting choice. We're gonna have the same conversation again when they cast Hermione. Because let's be real, it's extremely likely they're going to cast a black actress for her. They already did it in the Cursed Child play, and that caused a meltdown back then. It's gonna happen again. And when it does, I guarantee you we'll see the exact same cycle. Backlash, outrage, bad faith arguments, and eventually people getting over it. At the end of the day, this is just the beginning of a very long 10-year journey for this Harry Potter series. If the first major casting choice already has this much controversy, just imagine what's coming next. Buckle up because it's going to be a bumpy ride. But now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are you excited to see what Essiedu brings to the role? Are you one of the people who's mad about the casting? Let's hear it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Janet McTeer as Professor McGonagall. HBO is reportedly in final negotiations with Janet McTeer for the role of Professor Minerva McGonagall. And honestly, this casting is solid. If you don't know who McTeer is, she's got one hell of a resume. She's an Oscar nominee, a Tony Award winner, and has played some seriously powerful women on screen. She's done everything from Ozark to The White Queen, and if there's one thing she knows how to do, it's command a room. And honestly, that's the exact energy McGonagall needs. She's strict but fair, intimidating but deeply caring, and most importantly, she takes zero nonsense from anyone. You know how Maggie Smith could shut down an entire conversation with just a look? Yeah, McTeer can do that too. Another thing? She's pretty much the same age as Maggie Smith was when she first played the role, so visually this transition actually works. Throw on the green robes, the square glasses, and give her a few epic one-liners, and we're golden. Look, McGonagall is one of the most universally beloved characters in Harry Potter, so this was never going to be an easy recast. But if anyone can pull it off without trying to copy Maggie Smith while still respecting the original vibe, it's Janet McTeer. So, what do we think? Are we on board with this pick, or were you hoping for someone else? John Lithgow as Albus Dumbledore. Alright, here's a big one. John Lithgow is stepping into the role of the legendary Albus Dumbledore. And let's just say, opinions are mixed. First things first, Lithgow is a phenomenal actor. We're talking Emmys, Tonys, Golden Globes, the whole package. If you've ever seen The Crown, you know this guy can bring that wise, commanding presence. And Dumbledore? Yeah, he needs exactly that. But here's the thing. This is a massive shift from the previous Dumbledores we've seen. Richard Harris had that soft-spoken, grandfatherly warmth. Michael Gambon had that unpredictability, that slight edge of chaos. Lithgow? He brings something completely different. Some fans are worried he might not have that magical quality that makes Dumbledore, well, Dumbledore. But let's not forget, this is going to be a younger version of the character. They're sticking to book-accurate ages, which means we're getting a 60-ish Dumbledore, not an 80-year-old one. So, could Lithgow bring a fresher, more active take on the role? Possibly. The biggest challenge? Delivering those iconic Dumbledore moments. The "did you put your name in the goblet of fire?" The "after all this time?" Can Lithgow pull those off? We'll have to wait and see. How are we feeling about this one? Inspired choice or total miscast? Peter Capaldi as Ollivander. Now this is a casting I can get behind. Peter Capaldi, aka Doctor Who himself, is reportedly taking on the role of Garrick Ollivander, the mysterious wandmaker. And honestly, this just makes sense. John Hurt was iconic in the role, but let's be real, he didn't get nearly enough screen time. Ollivander in the books? The dude is obsessed with wands, like full-blown mad scientist energy. And who better to bring that slightly unhinged but completely fascinating presence than Capaldi? Capaldi has that voice, that intensity, that slightly erratic energy that makes you question whether this guy is just an eccentric old man or secretly a dark wizard himself. Also, let's not forget, Ollivander gets captured and tortured by Voldemort. That's something the movies barely touched on. But the show? They have to go deeper into that. Capaldi can bring so much to that role if they let him explore it. I love this pick. But what do you think? Capaldi as Ollivander, perfect, or do you have another actor in mind? Phoebe Waller-Bridge as Aunt Petunia. Okay, this one kind of took me by surprise. Phoebe Waller-Bridge, yes, Fleabag herself, is reportedly taking on the role of Aunt Petunia. And honestly, I think this could be genius. The movies kind of made Petunia seem like just a mean, bitter woman. But the books? She's way more complicated than that. She wasn't just cruel. She was jealous. She grew up in Lily's shadow, always knowing she wasn't special, wasn't chosen. And then she spent her whole life pretending she didn't care. Waller-Bridge excels at playing emotionally complex characters. She can bring depth to Petunia, make her more than just an angry woman slamming cupboard doors. She can make us feel that resentment, that buried sadness. I really like this casting. But do you? Brett Goldstein as Hagrid. Now here's a wild one. Brett Goldstein, aka Roy Kent from Ted Lasso, is rumored to be playing Hagrid. And, I don't know how to feel about this. In terms of personality, yeah, I can kind of see it. Hagrid is gruff, tough, but has the biggest heart. Goldstein can definitely pull off that mix of rough around the edges, but lovable. But physically, Hagrid is a half-giant. The dude is huge, and Goldstein is not. So, does this mean HBO is going full CGI for Hagrid? Are they just going to scale him up in post-production? Or are they going for a less physically imposing version of the character? Could this work? Let me know what you think. Ben Barnes as Sirius Black. This one's been floating around the internet for years, and it might finally be happening. Ben Barnes, aka Prince Caspian, the Darkling, is rumored to be playing Sirius Black. And honestly, this is perfect. Barnes has that effortless charisma, that reckless energy that makes Sirius so damn likable. But he can also bring that tragic edge, the pain, the years of Azkaban, the loss of his best friend. Honestly, if they actually lock him in for Sirius, I won't complain. Final thoughts. So, there you have it, the biggest confirmed and rumored castings for the Harry Potter HBO series. Some of these are spot on, others still have me raising an eyebrow. But one thing's for sure, this show is already making bold moves. What do you think? Who's the best casting choice so far? Who's the worst? And who do you want to see play Harry, Hermione, and Ron? Let's talk. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you made it this far, hit that like button, subscribe for more updates, and I'll see you in the next video.